Hey everyone, it's Grahtles, and welcome to the very first episode of my new series, Evolution. So yes, this is the game Satisfactory, and the last time I did a beginner's guide, this time we're not doing it this way. This isn't going to be the average beginner's guide, no hand-holding, no slow factory building. Instead, we're speedrunning through the early game to get all the essentials ready for a massive train network, giant factories, and a hub that's centrally located on the map. Oh, and there's one rule. We're only building on pure nodes. So with all that being said, I'm also using 4 visual mods. One is Cartograph. That basically turns your map into a more detailed map, and it shows you a whole bunch of stuff I'll show you later on in the video. The Manta Rise, that makes the Manta rise higher than your buildings, so it shouldn't go through them. Then we have Sky UI. That changes our daytime and nighttime cycles, so we can keep it on daytime, so when I'm filming and doing stuff, it's easier for me to do that and show you everything. And the Vanished Giraffe. Yeah, they spawn in your buildings, they get annoying, so yeah, we got rid of those guys as well. So anyway, those are the mods we're using. So let me show you what I did. First things first, I dropped the hub in a temporary spot just to unlock milestones quickly. It's in the northern forest, it's not to the west, it's to the east. This has 6 pure iron nodes, has a copper node that's pure, and it has a limestone that's pure. So it was a perfect location just to get us up and running. But don't worry, we'll be relocating to the center of the map later. The goal right now is just pure speed. We're going to get biomass, automate the basic iron plates, rods, wire, all that stuff, and start completing the milestone tiers and also the MAM tree. So to get to trains, we need to unlock logistics, coal power, steel production, and eventually rail. So I'm not spending a lot of time on making pretty factories just yet. This is all just kind of pushing towards the iron, copper, concrete, power, steel, and that's basically the sprint path. So the first thing I really needed to do was, once I got to this point, was make more power. So coal power was our first major checkpoint. So I set up a coal power plant where I did in the best start, and this is going to be a permanent setup. It just, I needed more power. So yeah, this is going to stay with us for the rest of the game. Or at least for now, while we need the power. And yeah, the hub. Let's go ahead and get to the hub. So here's where things are getting serious. With the coal online, steel unlocked, it's time to move our hub to its permanent home. Dead center in the map. That way the train lines can branch outward in every direction. Think of it like the heartbeat of our factories. So I went around looking for pure nodes, which will probably be our permanent home for factories once we get that going. But really, I just needed to start our iron factory because that's going to be our first major factory going forth. So with 6 pure nodes of iron, I was able to set up Mark II miners, overclock them to 480 because we have Mark IV belts. That set us up for the next step. So the next step was to set up smelters. I have 96 smelters on this main floor, and they're taking from the 6 miners and making us our iron ingots. Those are getting put onto this belt system. So there's 6 lines on this belt system. Those are for each of the Mark II miners, and they will be pulled from for the factory floors above. Alright, so here is our smelter floor completely done. The 96 smelters, and those are being put onto these belts. These belts are being pulled up to the next floor to make our screws, plates, and rods. Let me show you how we're doing that. So underneath this floor is a logistics floor. And as you can see, we are pulling in our ingots and all different directions to make our rods, plates, and screws. Let's jump back up. Next, it was time to set up rods, screws, and plates. So I made 2 floors, identical, and we have 32 constructors on each floor making rods. We have 24 constructors making plates on 2 floors, and we have 40 sets of constructors on 2 floors making screws. Screws is always our standpoint where we always run out of, and I wasn't going to run out of them this time. So each one of these making plates, rods, and screws are taking each one of our pure iron nodes. So this would be taking 1 node, the screws would be taking 1 node, and the rods will be taking 1 node. And because there's 2 floors of this, that's all 6 nodes. Up on here you could see we have a pull and a push system, just like in the best start, except not on that scale. This is more of a scale just for a factory. So the white ones, those are the ones that are putting our stuff on the belts, and the yellow is pulling from the belts. So as you can see, they're getting their ingots that they need right in here, and they're making our rods and our screws and our plates. So if I go in here, you can see we have the screws on here and the plates and the rods. There's a little clipping going on there, not a big deal, but anyway, we have 2 floors of this. So we have 1 floor with the rods, screws, and plates. We have another set of belts with rods, screws, and plates. So now that is what's bringing our stuff to our next set. So this is our top floor. Our top floor has actually quite a bit of stuff going on. So these 2 rows are just making reinforced plates to go to modular frames. So we are making over here, there's 12 modular frames to be turned into heavy modular frames, 12 modular frames, 10 sets of rotors, and 10 sets of reinforced plates. So here's our logistics floor for the reinforced plates, the modular frames, and the rotors. So everything's getting pulled off the belts and pulled into the machines through here. And I did it quite neatly. I did not cross over anything. I was very careful to keep this pretty separate. So it did work out nicely. As you can see, we got our reinforced plates coming down the line, and they're going to our modular frames, and so on and so forth. So I love this catwalk because I'm able to get up and in here pretty easily, and I also have my elevators. So let me talk a little bit about these lights. These lights was from a subscriber that joined my Discord, and he uploaded them into the Discord as a blueprint, and me and Jemson loved them so much we used them. His name is AWOL, and thank you, AWOL, because not only did AWOL help with blueprints here, and he gave me a couple, he also helped me to search for things in my MAM and help me out with the game a little bit. So yeah, if you'd like to come join us in the Discord, the link is down below in the description. So I'd like to talk a little bit about these caged walls. I ended up using something quite different. I used these industrial rails, and what I didn't know is you can actually stack these, and then I used the steel beams and made walls out of it. The reason being is, it's funny how you find these things. It looks really cool. I needed something very thin to separate a little bit of my factory. I wanted to show that these are reinforced plates and these are separated and from the modular frames here. And I needed something really thin. It does clip a little bit, not perfect, because it was a tight fit for everything I needed. But they worked really well and they look kind of cool, so I liked it. So anyway, that's the, just really the industrial gates or whatever fences, they are railings, stacked with the steel beams. And I just made this little catwalk to go up to the roof. I thought it was easy to get up and down, and it's compact. It makes you a little dizzy when you go around and around. All right, so let's talk a little bit about where we're at. So I have quite a few things researched. We are up to trains, but not ready for them just yet. We only did our first major factory, which is the iron factory. There's our hub. It's not too far away. Over there, we have some coal being made for our power. And down over in this way, we have, I think, quartz, copper, a few things going on over here. Sam, we have some Caterium being made thanks to AWOL over here. Just small setups, not buildings yet, but that is next to come. So before I can get any manufacturing going, what I really need to do is get the copper set up, the limestone set up, the Caterium set up, the quartz set up. We need quite a few things set up into factories before we can move forth. So that is what I'm going to be working on, probably for the second episode, so we can really kind of fly into the trains, hopefully by the third episode. So let me know what you think about this series. I know it's a lot different than my first series, but because I did a best start series, I really wanted to do something a little different and maybe do another beginners series later on down the line after this one, but I really did want to do something different with this. Also, it's called Evolution, and the reason why it's called Evolution is it's kind of the next step, and we evolved. We learned how to play the game through the best start. We know how to get to places, but I just want to do things to the next level. So I want to challenge myself, and I want to challenge you guys. Maybe you could follow through with me. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please like, subscribe, comment. I want to know your comments. I want to know what you think. I want to know your ideas, where we should go. And yeah, like, subscribe, comment, share. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.